So normally I would not dedicate a video to this one minute thing, literally going over one series, but because of the major exception, I've decided to dedicate a whole video to this. If, actually not if, I am going to upload a video tomorrow, or film a video tomorrow, whether or not I upload it tomorrow or I push it till next Wednesday, so I definitely have something for next Wednesday is up for debate. Because I think doing the whole middle of the month, at this point it sounds middle of the month, but like, we'll be reading for the rest of the month, and then I don't even, like, some may add more. I think it's pretty silly, but whatever the case, let's get into today's video. In today's video, instead of being what I'll be reading for the rest of the month, it's what I'll be reading for the rest of the year. And this was one that, because I'm so far behind on this series, I've decided to just go back to the beginning. Now, the series I have read before, I do want to point that out right away. And this series is Black Science, all 9 volumes. And if you do the math, there's 43 issues in this series, thus I'll be reading 1 issue per day for the rest of the year. So I did want to do that. I was going to do it with Outcast, and I was like, no, do it with Revival, and like, no, do it with this series, and then I realized, I'm super far behind on Black Science. At the point where I might as well just go back to the beginning so I can refresh my memory, and then read it all the way through for the second time. So I think volumes 1 through 4 I had read before. So that may technically will be my 3rd time going through those. Well, it will be my 3rd time going through those. So technically it's my 3rd time, halfway through at least, reading the series for a 3rd time. But all the way through, it's 2nd time. I did really love this series. I thought it was like extremely captivating, and one of those series that just got better as it went along. Like, you expect 43 issues. Towards the middle, it's gonna be a little slow, because it's 43 issues, and maybe the writer has the beginning and the end figured out, but towards the middle, he's kind of running low on steam, but he still wants to have that momentum. You know what I mean? Like, have this amount of book, and he doesn't want to like end it too soon or whatever. So, but no, like, it was like extremely captivating, and probably my favorite Rick Remender comic so far. My favorite Rick Remender series. I'm very split on him. I tried time and time again to get into Uncanny X-Force, and I think the most I've read of it is like 35%, maybe 40%. I hesitate to say halfway through, but it was just kind of like, I wasn't vibing with it, which is blasphemy. I know that's blasphemy to say that, because it's everyone's favorite Rick Remender comic, and everyone's favorite X-Men comic, everyone's favorite Marvel comic even. Like, that's how much people love that series. I just was very split on it. I didn't think it was all that great. But I'm so glad I own it, because now I can reread it whenever I want to. And I do, like, every now and then I'll be like, you know what, let's give X-Force another chance. Of course, with the thousands of comics I'm reading per month, I had to put that to the side, and of course it's an omnibus, so I'm like, well, I'm going to be reading that for quite some time. With Black Science, I'm like, well, it's just one series, sure, but what if I get 22 comics? I'm like, oh, well, now we're going to not do 11 and 11, because that's what that's what I did last year. This year I've been kind of dropping the ball on that, but last year I was like, okay, 22 at most. That way it's half and half each day. But because I've been adding the image books more and more this year, kind of dropped the ball on that. I would say almost at the beginning of the year. No, at the beginning of the year, because it was just 2, and I kept adding them, and then I got carried away. That's a great thing to say when I'm saying that I'm getting carried away with the books that are my personal collection, the ones I bought myself, and I'm not getting carried away, both, of course, but I'm also getting carried away with the library books, and it's good. I'm not saying that, just library books, because I am reading a lot. Like, you should see that, again, that it's so many that, yeah, some are repeats, but there's so many that, like, I was prattling on at this point, but so many at this point that I don't even know if I'm going to do at the end of the year, New Year's thing, where I just do like, oh, here's all the image books I read this year, and then I do a huge long review. That's a lot to commit to. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. So, this is 9 volumes, 43 issues. I'll go through each volume. Volume 1, Volume 2. And I'm starting reading it today. Volume 3. Because again, 43 days left of the year. Volume 4. So you want to know how many days left of the year right now. That's how many. Volume 5. How helpful. And it's kind of funny that Volume 6. And I planned it too. Volume 7. I did look it up. I was like, I wanted to do that. I want to do it this way, not just start reading it now and have it not be 43 days left. Volume 8 and Volume 9 of Black Science. Now, I do not have the compendium, obviously, nor do I have the oversized hardcovers. I got the individual trades. And honestly, I think... So, another little tangent I'll go on, because this is really just me going over the... Like, reading the rest of the year, and I already explained everything I need to explain. But sometimes I like getting just reading it through individual volume. Of course, for Wayward, I like having that oversized hardcover. And for something like Paper Girls, I like that I have that in compendium format. Although I did not read that in compendium format. Invincible. Invincible is just too expensive to get all 12 hardcovers, so getting the 3 compendiums is more cost effective. Getting the compendium of Paper Girls is more cost effective. And hey, my local library was gracious enough, again, through interloans, but they're still gracious enough to do interloans in general, but the local library was gracious enough to have the 3 oversized hardcovers for Paper Girls, so I got to read that in a different format. Because I actually have it the compendium before, because the library also had the compendium. They have it, it's kind of funny, is they have each edition of it. And I think they even have the manga version, the digest size version. I call it the manga version, because when I hear digest, I don't immediately think of, oh, Strange Academy, that's digest size. I think of manga, which is even smaller than digest size. I think DC Compacts, I think those are manga sized. Yes, they are. And then the Marvel Premiere collections are more expensive and aren't doing as hot as the DC Compact comics are digest size. But as hot, I mean, they're just doing random storylines and they're going very slow and it's kind of expensive as per usual in Marvel's case. But then again, the DC Compacts are like tiny. So, but that is that says that, I guess. So yeah. I'm trying to go over my head. It's like, that's how kind of pointless this video was, but how quick this video was. 9 volumes of Black Science, 43 issues, reading 1 per day starting today. Gonna be done at the end of the year, which is insane to think about, although it is also 43 issues of book. Cause yeah, and that's the other thing. So to be like doing this, like, okay, volume 1 of Black Science, this is how I felt books. I read it that month, and I'm like, I read this in February, and this, now it's kind of silly. So to do all of it at the end of the year, give my full thoughts on the full series, not just by volume, because volume 7, I'm going to be saying the same exact thing. It gets better as it goes along, yada yada yada. It's super captivating. I'm just regurgitating the same thing I said for volumes 2 through 7. So volume 1, when I first read it, I thought it was the weakest out of the entire series. That was a bit of a slow start, but of course it got going as it went along, and like really, it never stopped. But even volume 1, like my most recent reread, when I was reading it for the second time around, I started reading it for a second time around, I did say that that was not as accurate anymore, and that I felt like it was always just as good as it was later on. But even in the beginning. And then, so yeah, it was kind of redundant. Like, you know, when I do Wayward, I make sure that's, I do 30 issues, okay? 30, or not Wayward, Sex Criminals. That's 31 issues, because you gotta include the bonus issue, the 69th issue. And they have a one-shot too, but I'm not including that because it's not included in the compendium. And I didn't know about it until much, much later. This is Sexual Gary one-shot. It was good. I did like that one-shot, but it was kind of like, why didn't you put that in the compendium as a bonus? Kind of weird. I don't think it's even included in the oversized hardcovers either. Which next time I read Sex Criminals, I'm getting those I'm getting an oversized hardcover. But anyways, with that series, I make sure, okay, it was June that I read it, and I wanted to, actually, July would have been better, but July 34, it's 31 days in that month, so I'm reading it so it's 31. Or last month was 31 days. So in October, I should have read Sex Criminals, so I could read 1 per day, and 2 in the last day because of the Sexual Gary one-shot. So that's how I would reason with those. And Skull Kickers is 35 issues, so I have to read 2 per day on 5 days. And side note, I was further along than I thought I was. I was like, wait, we finished issue 12 already? I don't remember doing 1 per day. And I really hope I didn't skip an issue by accident. I wouldn't have. That would not have been something I would have done. I can be pretty careless on autopilot mode, but that's like next level autopilot mode. But anyways, that, as I say, is that. 43 issues, and might as well get started reading right now. It's a 10-minute video anyways.